Okay, this weekend, summer seems to officially or unofficially start. The kids are out of school, lots of fun ahead, but it is also a time for all of you with teenage drivers out there to really be mindful. So C. Mark Warren, John Mark Griffin, back on the show in their seersucker suits, summer appropriate.
Yes.
From Warren and Griffin. Y'all are always quick to have a laugh, and that's a great thing, but you take this very seriously because you see people walk through your doors.
Yes.
Their lives have been turned upside down.
Yes.
When school is let out, Memorial Day through Labor Day, teenagers are 3 times more likely to be killed in a car wreck, because when school's let out, they have more time on the road, they can stay out later, and they're more likely to drive with their friends. They're more likely to speed, to text, to be distracted, and it is a period of danger for our teenagers, and parents have got to intervene a little bit.
It's heartbreaking because every year we think surely it won't be so bad. We just had that tragic case in McMinn County
Right.
with those 2 boys.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, that's a tragedy. That's an example, and our hearts go out to those families.
Our
I mean,
prayers
goodness
go out to
gracious.
family.
Our
And-
prayers
and the community, I think.
community up there is affected. I mean,
Right.
it's 2 days before graduation.
Oh.
I mean, it's a painful time for those people. And,
Yeah.
but it's an opportunity for us to kind of talk about what we can do
Well,
to
that
try to
is-
help prevent these things.
That's a big part of your practice, is to try to teach people and educate
Right.
people in different things. So y'all this year come up with this parent-teen driving agreement.
Yeah, and we can take a tragedy in McMinn County and use it to educate our teens. And I suggest for all the parents out there to talk about what happened in McMinn County.
Yeah.
And that would break their hearts and the community if that happened to their family. And sit down with your teen. On our Facebook page, we have found this parent-teen driving agreement. It takes less than 5 minutes to fill it out. It's a great opportunity to talk about, making a promise that you're going to obey the rules of the road. Always wear a seatbelt. Seatbelts save lives.
Absolutely.
Seatbelts, crucial, save lives, and for some reason, teenagers are not wearing seatbelts as often
Really?
as they should. Yes.
That's surprising to
well,
me.
I mean, it goes back to the cell phone, Julie. I mean, if you're more able
distracted,
to...
you're getting in the car, you're going places. We start in April with, Never Text and Drive and Distracted Driving Month. And, it feeds into May, because once we get to this point of this time of year, the 100 Deadly Days of Summer, a lot of these same rules that we talk about with never texting and driving, things that we should try to prevent, are also part of the 100 Deadliest Days of Summer. It is the distracting part that keeps a kid from putting on their seatbelt, that they have the radio up, or they're videoing, or they're on the social media. All these things that can distract can really increases the chance of a child being killed in one of these crashes.
I want to touch on a couple of things. One is the fact that when you go on their Facebook page and you get this form and you fill it out with your teenage driver and you send it back in, until the end of June anyway,
Right.
they can be entered to win.
Yes. If the parent and teen sit down and fill this form out and email it back to our office, you can find that on our website. You're entered into a drawing, a family vacation to a place called, it's Dollywood?
Yeah.
Heard of that.
You heard that? It's Dollywood.
It's not quite Hollywood, but it's Dollywood.
It's Dollywood.
And she would say sign this form.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Dolly is a great ambassador of safe driving. So two nights, 3 days at Dollywood, the Dream Resort.
Okay, my other point was going to be that we were talking about the fatalities that can occur. It could also be that your teen driver causes a fatal crash for somebody else.
Oh,
Right.
It's both vehicles that are involved.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the crash that happened in McMinn County involved 2 vehicles.
Right.
I mean, and the other vehicle, there was not any
The other
injuries.
question I have is, when you're going over this, these are all kind of pledges, if you will, and reminders.
Right.
But part of driving is also offensive
Right.
driving, right? Like
Yes.
you and I, Mark, lived off of a road that's very windy, turny,
Right.
and inevitably people will ride that middle line and they don't take the turn. And,
Cheat the curves,
They
yeah.
cheat the curves
Right.
and they're coming your way. So do you teach your teenagers how to be careful to be on the lookout for things?
Yes.
Well, the parents are the best example about how to be a good driver. So obviously, if you're a parent with your 7-year-old in your car, kids in the car, you abide by the rules, and you teach your kids that way. Obviously, you should not be driving over double yellow lines going over the speed limit.
Yeah.
No, but as a driver, all the things that you learned before you took your driver's license test, space behind cars, all those things,
Right.
because you never know when somebody else could mess up
Oh,
and hurt
absolutely.
you.
This is an opportunity to review all those things with your child. You go over the agreement. You can talk about the things if they've taken driver's ed. You know, you can talk about the things they may have learned in driver's ed. If they haven't taken driver's ed, you might consider it so they
Right.
can understand some of the rules of the road and things that keep you safe. Because yes, defensive driving is one thing, but you know, experienced in getting out of the way of things and moving your car to the side or whatever you need to do. I mean, those are things that you learn in school, you learn by driving, and parents can be a huge example.
You know, kids grow up so much faster.
They do.
these
And
days.
the problem with teenage driving, they just don't know what they don't know.
That's right.
Like anything
They're
else, they
kids.
just don't know what they don't know. A deer jumps out in front of you.
Yeah.
They don't know what they don't know.
Exactly.
And
so
you're
it-
the parent, and you still have
Yes.
the right to say you can or cannot do
Well,
this.
part of this agreement is penalties for agreement violations.
Oh,
and
I didn't
actually,
notice
you
the page
actually
2.
agree what the penalties would be
Yeah, the parent
if
and the
they
child,
violate.
the
you
parent
know,
and the child
so-
can negotiate those things, and so there's a consequence, you know, that the child knows about in advance, and that the parents need to enforce if they enter this agreement. So,
And there's the thing about texting. And if a parent receives a text from a child when they're on the road and they're driving the car, then there should be consequences for that.
And remember, kids are clever.
Yes.
And I mean, they are. So we talk about never text and drive.
Right.
Most kids snap now.
Yes. Yes.
They're not texting
any of them.
anyway.
Any of the social media,
Right.
anything that they're doing, the Snapchat, you know, any of the other things.
But you don't want to let them get off on a technicality.
No, you do not.
No,
No,
no.
you do not.
Right.
No, you don't. You don't.
Okay, so go to your Facebook page, download the form, fill
Right,
it out
yes.
with your teenager, submit it back in via email. You could win the Dollywood vacation.
A family vacation.
Very,
Right.
very nice. Keep on wearing those seersucker suits, you
We'll do
Southern
it.
lawyers. You will find them at warrenandgriffin.com, 265-HURT. They take this very seriously. And in the event that you are in some kind of an accident, don't forget they have that app on there that you can download too
Sure.
to help you through what you need to know, because the police don't always come anymore.
That's
So
a good point.
You want
That's
to
a
keep
good
some
point.
things in mind.
Yes.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie.